1226 First Alert Radar Network.
With up to 10 times the resolution of other local radars and technology that can pinpoint right down to your street.
First just got faster. Live from Augusta, we're watching News 1226 at 11.
Thank you for watching News 1226 at 11 on WRDW and AWAGT, now streaming live on WRDW Plus. I'm Wrdw. New tonight, Columbia County Commissioners setting their sights on the future by approving the foundations for the future's comprehensive plan. It's replacing the Vision 2035 plan with some big changes from the plan approved almost 5 years ago, including the area of the 2 data centers recently approved. Your Ethan Hunter was at that meeting. He joins us now live in the studio. Ethan.
Yeah, the comprehensive plan maps out the future for the county. It covers everything from sidewalks to potential uses for thousands of acres of land. Tonight, the commissioners unanimously approved this plan behind me, shaping the next 5 years for Columbia County.
I watched the fields that I picked blackberries in as a child turn to parking lots, and over the years, it's changed a lot.
Connie Zahn grew up in Appling and raised her own family here too, including her son Witten.
This is not just a piece of land to me, it's my home. It's my forever home.
They've seen a lot of change, but the biggest change would have been her family's property becoming the Bird Farms data center.
It's our lives. It's every memory, good and bad.
Although that project was denied, Appling and Harlem are still top of mind when it comes to growth, with 2 data centers approved for the area and more discussion at Tuesday's commission meeting.
As residents, what's made Columbia County great is not hyperscale growth.
The foundations for the future plan that lays out the county's recommended growth unanimously approved by commission. The biggest change from the previous plan, the Appling-Harlem area's transformation into a technology and industrial area.
I think the biggest changes people saw and the questions they had really revolved around where the data centers were placed. Outside of that, there were not a lot of changes.
That area in purple is the technology area, and the space in red is going to be used for a commercial area and green space around the data center, with room for more growth.
You have to have a little bit of room for growth just in case. We have no intentions of doing that, but you don't totally want to box in what you're doing.
This plan setting the goal for what happens in the future. And although the land behind her house can't be rezoned for 6 more months, Connie knows more growth could be coming.
It is a huge part of my identity because this is home. Appling is home. I don't know where else to be.
And this plan comes after a year of public input, from surveys to meeting people out in the community. But the data center discussion still dominated tonight's meeting as neighbors continue to question Appling's new direction.
And we know those data centers are a continuous hot topic right here in our region and at the state level as well. Thank you for that, Ethan. Also new tonight, out of Columbia County, Commissioners releasing a statement about Trader Joe's coming to Evans. Chairman Doug Duncan says the Board of Commissioners are, quote, pleased to confirm that we have been actively engaged in ongoing discussions with Trader Joe's regarding their expansion into our community. Here's more about what leaders had to say.
Thankful that they chose Columbia County when it comes to Trader Joe's. It's the #1 requested item that I get, which is kind of shocking, but I'm glad we're able to work with them.
Right now, we don't know where or when Trader Joe's will open. Of course, we'll keep you updated as soon as we get more information. Switching gears to weather now as we take a live look outside at I-20 in Riverwatch Parkway here. And the warm weather, it's really nice, Emily, but it's not expected to last.
No, and all good things come to an end. But hey, we still got the summer, so it's going to warm back up eventually. Overnight tonight, not too bad. About 10 degrees warmer than where we should be this time of year, right around that 49-degree mark. But something to note, patchy fog likely as we start off our morning tomorrow, pretty similar to what we saw today. So again, make sure that you give yourself plenty of time as you head out the door tomorrow morning, but it's going to be comfortable. Still going to want to have a jacket though. Again, right around 49, but we'll warm up into the 70s despite overcast sky conditions. 74 will be our average high temperature tomorrow. Once we get into the later part of the week, though, temperatures will rise before they're going to drop drastically. We'll talk more about temperatures, and I'll have a look at those rain chances coming up.
Thanks, Emily. New tonight, it's a story we've been tracking for the past week. A GPA calculation error caused some students' class rank to change in Burke County. And tonight, Burke County Board of Education unanimously approved co-valedictorians for the class of 2026. But parents and students are still calling for accountability.
A packed room filled with parents and students demanding transparency and accountability from Burke County's Board of Education.
It's not a one-time oversight. This was a systematic, ongoing human error that went unnoticed and uncorrected by the very people we entrust to safeguard our students' academic futures.
These growing calls come as the district identified an issue with the calculation of student GPAs. The error came from the district, who was incorrectly weighing dual enrollment credits. It came after a review of a 2023 policy. That impact can be felt by around 150 students, which includes half the senior class, taking dual enrollment courses in Burke County.
This is not about conflict. It is about accountability and trust. The students did not change. Their work did not change. The communication did.
On February 11th, parents were sent this letter from the school district explaining an error was found, but parents say the changes were already made without their knowledge.
Instead of transparency, instead of accountability, and instead of immediately notifying families, the district quietly began modifying student transcripts.
On February 13th, with growing calls for action, the Burke County Board of Education held an urgent meeting. Some ideas initially mentioned by the board included amending the new policy back to the old policy only for the class of 2026. Or the board mentioned giving the state a letter with each affected student's paperwork explaining the error. There was no decision made that day. On February 15th, they sent out another letter explaining that they're maintaining a decision that could impact students' GPAs. 12 on Your Side found the district may have gone against their own policy by doing that. Their policy reads, "The misrepresentation of achievement by upgrading or downgrading is improper and unethical." To make a grade change, parents or legal guardians will be notified of all grade changes through the SIS department. And for the first time, we're hearing how the district was notified about the error. Ben Roberts noticed his daughter's class ranking changed and started asking questions.
We didn't show up and complain about a class ranking. We didn't complain about grades. We didn't complain about any other students. We didn't complain about a policy. We did not know there was any sort of error in a policy.
We also found the district knew about this issue for at least 7 days before sending out their initial letter to students.
They have been dragged through the mud. We have been called racist. We have been called elitist. We have been called mom and daddy had to pull some strings. Now, you all know that's not true, but you all could have controlled the messaging. And you had a responsibility to not just my family, but all of these families.
And the district did say that they are going to look at possibly making changes to that dual enrollment grading policy in the near future. SLED is charging 18-year-old Kamonte Kennedy with murder.
Well, looking at your Wednesday high temperatures, middle 70s, feeling like spring, but that will come to an end. I'll have a look at your temperatures for the next 7 days coming up.
At Parker's Kitchen, get our new breakfast meal deal. A sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, a hot coffee, and a crispy hash brown for just $5.99 at Parker's Kitchen.
Now, your first alert weather with meteorologist Emily Acton.
Well, we have a mild start to our Wednesday. Morning lows right around that 49-degree mark. We're going to see mostly cloudy sky conditions, though, and that's going to last throughout the day. But for your morning commute, just know we are going to see some very dense fog again. But by the afternoon, that will be clearing out. Still seeing that cloud cover, though, for the majority of the day. 74 for your high temperature tomorrow, so you're going to need a jacket in the morning, but by the afternoon, very comfortable conditions. But this is what we're dealing with in terms of visibility. Dense fog, again, very likely for the start of our Wednesday. This is around 6 a.m., and it's not getting much better during rush hour. Here's 7 a.m., still seeing very low visibility, but by the time we hit around 8 or 9, that's when things will start to clear up for at least most of us. And then for the afternoon, again, things are looking a lot better. Rain chances are not going to be here for at least the next couple of days, but You can see in the forecast, we can expect to see some heavy rainfall Friday and again Saturday. Friday looking a little bit more around the noon hour, lasting into the early afternoon. Saturday, just more of the evening, but we'll have a little bit better picture of the exact time those showers will start and end as we get closer to the weekend. But just know, if you have any afternoon plans Friday, you're going to need the rain gear, and same can be said Saturday. So here's what we're looking at. Tomorrow, overcast skies for most of the day, but we are warming up nicely. Now, Thursday, we can expect to see that cloud cover for the first half of the day, but by the afternoon, that cloud cover will really start to break up and a few isolated showers possible, but that main batch of rain is going to hold off until Friday around midday for us. So still seeing a few of those isolated showers and maybe even a couple of thunderstorms for your Friday afternoon. Here's around 2:30, seeing a very weak and unorganized line potentially will form and move through. So Friday night, still could see a few of those isolated showers. But before the rain moves in, we're going to have breezy conditions here for your Wednesday, 20 to 25 mile per hour wind gusts in the afternoon, and around 20 for our Thursday. So breezy conditions over the next 48 hours. If you have any patio furniture or maybe it's trash day for you, make sure that those items are secure. But again, tracking that rain Friday, Saturday, a big cool down as we go into the week next week. So don't put up the winter gear just yet. We're still going to see the 30s and upper 20s for the start of the work week next week.
Thanks, Emily. We're on your side with a safety alert. With the fall spring we're in right now, the chance of rain this weekend, now is a great time to prepare for mosquito season. According to the South Carolina Department of Public Health, the height of mosquito season is May 1st and November 30th, but eggs can hatch as early as March. The eggs need temperatures to be consistently above 45 to 50 degrees, and they really like that standing water. Now, mosquitoes are carriers for a number of diseases, including West Nile virus and heartworm found in dogs and cats. While there is a vaccine for some and medication for pets to prevent that heartworm, not all diseases have a vaccine. Now, here's a look at the CDC database on West Nile virus. With data from 2025, Georgia reported 17 cases of the virus, with 3 of those cases being in our region. South Carolina reported 4 cases in 2025. The Palmetto State also has a dashboard for mosquito-borne illnesses where it says no illnesses have been reported in South Carolina yet this year. So what can you do now to keep the pesky insect out of your yard and from biting you? The most common strategy public health agencies give is to get rid of any of that standing water, meaning if you still have water standing from the rain that we just saw over the weekend, mosquitoes could soon be in your yard. Now, mosquitoes often don't go very far from the places that they breed. South Carolina DPH suggests recycling these items and dumping water in items that can't be recycled. If the water can't be drained, then treat it. Larvicides are used for the eggs, while adulticides can be used to kill those adult mosquitoes. And when these bugs do come around, wearing protective clothing is always the best way to keep yourself safe. We have more information about mosquitoes on our website, along with resources for choosing the right repellent and getting your property sprayed. And victims of the Appalachia school shooting in 2024 tested.
5-time Masters champion Tiger Woods has already missed 2 Masters tournaments in the last 5 years, 2021 and last year. Tiger went through 2 major surgeries in 2025, one in March to repair a ruptured Achilles, another in October to replace a disc in his lower back. He hasn't played an official event since the 2024 Open Championship, but a return to Augusta this April, that isn't off the table just yet.
With you in regards to your recovery, is the Masters off the table for you?
No. My body's been through a lot. And so it's just one of those things where it's each and every day I keep trying, I keep progressing, I keep working on it and trying to kind of get stronger, try and get more endurance in this body and try and get it at a level in which I can play at the highest level again.
Well, that's what he said earlier at the Genesis Invitational, which he is playing host to. He said his age is starting to really sink in. Being 50, it does open the door to compete on the Champions Tour for him. That would also give him the opportunity to use a card, which he says he won't do on the PGA Tour if given that exception, because he doesn't believe in it. Still, no exact timetable for that return.
Well, looking at your what to wear forecast for tomorrow, I think we can break out the short sleeves. High temperatures in the mid 70s, but don't put up the winter clothes just yet. I'll have a look at your 7-day forecast one more time coming up.
Time and Temp, sponsored by Riverside Heating and Air. For comfort you can count on, call Riverside Heating and Air. Scan this QR code to discover more, including special savings. Stay comfortable inside with Riverside Heating and Air.
Charleston, Atlanta, Savannah, and even Orlando. These are just a few of the cities that law firms have come from to advertise in the CSRA. When it comes to choosing a lawyer after an accident, local experience matters. Don't you want a law firm that has deep roots here? Well, that's my firm. I'm Austin Jackson. I've been helping accident victims in Augusta, Aiken, and the entire CSRA for over 10 years, and I'm ready to help you right now. Call Austin Jackson, the Augusta guy, 706-724-7224.
My dad abandoned us.
Well, here's a final look at the next 7 days. Overnight tonight, right around 49 degrees. But remember, we are going to see patchy fog for the start of our Wednesday. Overcast skies will continue for the rest of the afternoon. We'll see the upper 70s Thursday and Friday, but rain chances come into play for the end of the week. That will be Friday afternoon and then again late Saturday. Even a couple of thunderstorms potentially, but a big cool down for the week next week. We're going to see 53 for our high temperatures Monday and Tuesday.
Thanks, Emily. That's all the time we have for News 12 at 11 o'clock. But if you're up early, the morning show starts at 4:30.
Gerald Jones Honda wants